Hi, this is Slimedog.
Topo.
And Legendary Jong.
And today we're playing Stories, the Paths of Destinies, on the PS4, and it's really fun. I've actually played through it a few times now, which kind of makes sense because it's got a really... It's an action RPG, but you can play through the whole thing in a very short amount of time. And there are multiple paths through the story, so you kind of end up playing Groundhog's Day with it and picking different decisions to see the entire story. It's a really clever narrative trick, and it's got a really neat kind of active narrator that kind of reads you the story and describes what's going on as you actually play. And there's different branching paths, and this time we're going to do one of the Sky Ripper paths, I think. You can tell which path you're on by the little symbol in the corner, but generally those don't show up until you've played through it at least once. So, yeah, this is the start of the game, actually. It kind of drops you right in the middle. You don't get much of the background, except for you're a fox with a sword, and you're trying to overthrow an emperor. Yeah, I think you're probably a wolf, not a fox. Are you a fox? I think you're a wolf. That makes more sense.
No, he looks like wolf.
He does look. He looks a lot like wolf, actually. Look, yeah, he really does. Except for he's colored like Star Fox. So, but yeah, we're gonna do one of the Sky Ripper ones because I think I've only done one of those so far. And basically, the game has 25 different endings. One's good, and 24 suck. So,
oh, that's not cool.
Interesting.
It is interesting, and you are definitely going to see some of the bad ones first because basically there's sort of 4 main branches that the story can go through, and you have to play through each of those branches once and uncover the 4 truths, quote unquote, before you can actually find the right path and get the good ending. And it kind of points you in the direction of the good ending, so once you got it, you don't need to play through it 25 times to see the good ending. But, yeah, you are, like, I ended up playing through, I think, 7 or so far. And it takes maybe half hour to an hour to play through each time. And it's, yeah, pretty quick. There's like 5 levels, each playthrough, and mostly it's just a series of fights. So, yeah, it's kind of fun. If you can check out the art style, it's kind of cool and cel-shaded.
And is this a disc or on PSN?
This is on PSN only. There is no disc for this at present time.
So, I'm not gonna lie, this actually looks like what they would do if they made like a Brave Fencer Musashi, like...
That's fair.
Remaster?
Yeah.
No, like not a remaster, just like a new one.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. Well, the game has a really slick, amazing kind of timing-based combat system, which is super cool. On the downside, considering you're playing through the same game 25 times, there's not really enough content to make it feel like it's unique every single time. So, you are going to get a degree of repetition. So, it's a good thing that the combat's really solid. Here, I'm about to die, I just realized, from my last playthrough, so I'm going to charge up my life a bit. I can dump my magic power, thanks to my sword, into life and get some life back.
Huh.
So, there are different swords. 1, 2, 3, 4 swords total. The other swords all, I swear to God, just seem to... all they do is, like, they just sort of do AoE damage, or at least that's kind of the main crux. The sword you start with is the one that gives you healing. As you can see like that, there's little secret bits here and there. Like, if you see those little posts, you can grapple onto them and swing over, and that's how you get kind of secrets. Although, there's, yeah, that's where you find, like, jewels and collectibles and things like that. And you use the jewels for crafting to make these swords. See, here's the 4 swords. You start out with this one, and it starts out at level 1. Ultimately, you can have 4 swords, and you can level them all the way up to 2. Okay? So, yeah. And after you play through it maybe 3 or 4 times, you're pretty much done with the swords.
So you're done with those workbenches too, then, or?
Pretty much. Well, there's also gems. You can find gems in chests. And you can, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gems, and you can find them levels, like they eventually level up to 3. When you start finding duplicates, you find, like, the level 2 and then the level 3 one. But once you've found all of them, there's pretty much nothing left to find in the game.
Huh.
Which is kind of a downer, honestly. It's part of the fun of it is, well, there's really no real reason to go check out all the chests and go hunting for secrets. Once you've capped out the swords and the chests, so, or the gems. These guys are kind of dodgy.
It is a pretty fast game, right? So
It is. I just got murdered. I screwed up that bad. And I'm
oh
dead.
no, snow.
I can't believe that.
We'll
I hit the wrong
always
button.
have
It's been a
Paris.
while. And then he died.
Oh, there you can restart from the checkpoint. I can
Yeah.
remember how you play.
Okay, where's my dash? Not that. Not that. There we go.
Okay. Ah,
Sorry, folks. These guys, if they see you, they do lots of damage real quick, so it's good if you don't let them see you. You can dash up and sort of one-shot them, and that's not really what I'd call combat. This is more of a movement puzzle than an actual combat thing. You can do, like, see if you've got the right sword, and then you can open up a door for it. And in the beginning, you can't basically open up any of the doors, but eventually you can, like, once you've got all 4 swords, you can access all the sort of areas of the game.
and you can change to all your sword. You don't have to go someplace to change your sword.
Yes, thankfully. Okay, here's combat. Combat's a little bit weird, and it's timing based. So if you're familiar with games like Arkham Knight, you know, the Batman Arkham games, it's a better feel for sort of the combat. You don't like mash the button per se, or if you do, you don't do well. You really need to kind of tap it sort of in sequence and keep a rhythm going to keep your combat up. And when people get ready to charge you,
After all these years of silence.
here's the thing, you can see it's got little story stuff kind of hidden in here. When they get ready to charge you, if you hit the attack button towards them, then you can dash and hit them and kind of counter their moves.
Pop them.
Yeah, you got it. You can also grab them with the grapple, and there's 1 or 2 other moves, but again, there's not a heck of a lot of moves. I mean, combat's really kind of the strong point about it, but again, like, there's no bosses. There's only about maybe 4 or 5 types of enemies total. So, you know, playing through it 25 times, you're going to see a lot of the same stuff.
Reynardo had always
Can you
been
break the
true
pots?
to the women
Absolutely.
who chests.
Now,
that's
Yes,
not what I
there's no
meant.
bosses. Is that what you just said?
yeah, there's no bosses, not even an end boss. You know, when you get the good ending, all you have is a slightly longer fight than usual. With just, you know, more trash mobs. So,
Also, I had a question about that thing floating behind you.
oh yeah, that's the Sky Ripper. I think, or that's that's the Sky Ripper itself, the thing we were supposed to find. I think we start with it. So, and this particular story path.
Guys, you found it.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe we're on day 2. I don't know, but I think we were on day 1 there. That was the first choice. So this is level 1. You just kind of start with it and sort of fight your way out on this level. And it does something for you, but I'm not entirely sure what. There's 1 or 2 other things you can find, like based on which of the major paths you take, but I think it kind of slightly helps you out in combat or something.
Is there a max level?
Yeah, well, and I'd love to show you. This is one of my pet peeves about this game. There is no subscreen. Okay, so that screen that showed you what level your swords are and, you know, what gems you could put on, the only way you can access that is if you find a workbench in the game. Likewise, the other areas, the other kind of stations that you can use to upgrade, like your skills and stuff, are the only way you can actually see your skills. So, I think it's kind of a downer. Like, honestly, it would be nice if you could get to it at any point in the game, like you can in a normal game. Oh, man. Again, I'm hitting the wrong button.
No, because when you got done with the combat, it actually had your, like, what level you were.
Yeah, you do have a level, and like every time you go up a level, you get another skill point, and it's got a cool little skill tree, and the skills are all useful. So it's neat stuff. Dang it! Why am I not doing this right? There, that's what I'm. It's been a month. Okay, yeah, here you go. That's how it's supposed to work. See, doesn't seem like there should be something here.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything there.
Give up that last part.
Oh, I can gank it if you want, but... Yeah, see, my...
Here's your thing. It's doing something.
Yeah, it's attacking him or something.
See?
That's better. There we
level
go.
up.
Oh yeah, see, I got a level. So now if I find the thing that lets me spend my skill points, I can actually spend a skill point. It's rather frustrating to me that you have to do all your leveling up at these weird stations. I really wish they hadn't have done that, because... Oh, this is that puzzle thing. And that's the puzzle.
Wow.
Ooh.
So difficult.
Yeah.
Wait. Can attack the crystal?
You absolutely
Yeah, we
can.
want to know.
Oh.
Sometimes, not often, but sometimes the crystals will actually spit out stuff too. So, I mean, there's a reason to, but
At
again,
this point, you're
once you're
already
pegged.
leveled and-
In fact, I could go into that room, but likely all there is in there is a treasure chest that contains nothing I can use anymore. So, that and it's... the level's ending up being longer than I thought. Oh, here we go. Here's the one that lets you do your skills. So I've got a skill point because, like you saw, I leveled up. Here's your trees. This is your hook shot, which is mainly used to get around mobility-wise, like...
Oh, yeah, it's those points.
Yeah, the posts. And to pull the shields away from the guys with shields. You can zap them and yank their shields away from a distance, which is nice.
Good deal.
Dash is all the dashing around I'm doing. That's super handy mobility. This combo one is one I've worked up. This is basically the more you get, the better your combos do. And if you get it all the way up, like basically once you sort of hit a certain combo level, you'll be one-shot killing everybody in the game. So the time thing, once you keep your combo up, then like basically it kind of freezes or slows down time to make it easier for you to do your timing. And then combat's all damage stuff. Stats is improving your life. And stamina. So
Okay.
let me just drop a point into this for now and get out of here. Oh, there we go. See, look, there's the thing. It's floating around and following me, the Sky Ripper, and I found another one just like it.
Sky
Right here?
Ripper's armature.
I'm not sure why it's following me
Dreams
around.
are made.
Oh, you know what? I do know why. Because I got the good ending. I heard somewhere, I think it told me that you get the tools to follow you around regardless of which path you take once you get the good ending. So that's why. Normally I wouldn't have it there until I found it here.
He'd have to ask a scientist.
So you just got the good ending then?
No. We're not on path for the good ending on this game. So, or on this level. So,
You didn't want to give away the story.
There was
Let people
another
find it
island
for
you could
themselves.
reach.
you can find it for yourselves, or it'll pretty much tell you. Once you've got the 4 truths open, you just pick the choice that's got the gold key on it,
Okay.
and that'll get you to the good ending. So, it's got some fun characters. It's got his treacherous girlfriend character here, who's the daughter of the Emperor. She's evil, and he tries to sweep her off her feet. It's cute.
That's awesome.
He's got his friend the rabbit. He's got, and then there's these 2 other kind of relics you can go after, either the Sky Ripper or the Idris Stone. Here's you can see all the different paths, and there's the endings I've gotten so far. But yeah, again, it would be really great if they would let you pop that up in a subscreen so you can keep track of it a little bit easier. I don't know why you can only see it in between
And
levels.
the armature was useless by itself. Only a series of coils and wheels.
What company
More
made this
demanded
game?
sacrifices.
You had to ask me
And he
that.
would make more before the end.
I'll look it up later, but they did a really good job.
Choose the
Yeah, it
greatest good,
seems
no
pretty
matter how much
solid.
it cost him.
It's just
Zenobia.
weird design choices.
It is. Well, and I can see why they did what they did. Like, basically, this isn't a AAA title, and they had limited resources, and they managed to stretch out, like, the limited resources in a pretty good way. I think they kind of... You can tell they emphasized, like, the combat and the gameplay over, like, variety of levels and tons of enemies and stuff like that. And I think it did them well overall.
Well, yeah, because like these areas look really nice.
They do. But there's only, like, maybe 7 different areas total. And you're going to be replaying all of them multiple times, yeah. So
Still, at least it looks nice.
it does, and it plays nice. So
That's handy.
good on them. And I'm sure if you pick it up on sale, you're not going to pay a whole lot for it either. So
Look at the fireflies.
they're just decoration. They're ambience. They don't do anything for you. Yep. See,
Can you jump?
you cannot jump.
Oh,
You can dash. You got your hook. Circle is, I think, throw. Yeah, circle I think is grab. Or no, the slash and hold is your grab. I forget what circle does. I just went there, didn't I?
yeah, you have to go back.
Sorry, folks.
That 10 seconds is 10 seconds I'll never get back.
I know. Not getting any
It's hard to
younger.
keep track while you're chatting. Ooh, what's that?
It's a well. You can jump down the well.
Jump in the well, jump in the well.
And it takes you to a different area.
Alright.
Now, mainly how you pick your way through is in the choices that you make in between levels. So at the start of the first level and the start of every level, you're making some sort of a decision on the story, and that's kind of what.
Where have we been seeing those along the way here?
Well, yeah, we did the first one, and then the second one. Yeah, we saw 2 so far.
Okay.
We started off with the first level.
I
And
didn't see where you were making the decision.
I'm
Next time
sorry.
It pops
I'll-
up, you should point it out.
I will point it out. Yeah, it's you get the big text boxes,
In the air.
and they'll have the little symbol in the bottom corner.
Because we're not
Something
actually
that had been
hearing
fermenting
the
for a very
narrator
long
talking to
time.
you about your choices and stuff, so I wasn't quite catching that that's what was going on there.
Which is an excellent point. The music is serviceable, but the narrator is really cool. So if you like games like Victor Vran or Bastion or Transistor, where they actually kind of talk to you and the voice is like, oh, and so would like to do this and that. And
What was the other one? Where you played as like the accountant guy, and it had like the voice, and you interacted with him, and it like got really crazy.
The accountant guy?
Yeah, I don't remember this one.
I love hearing about accountant guy games.
There are
No,
fewer
like,
and fewer trees.
and it's not the fact that he has the
There are
job.
these
It's like
huge
it starts and
crystalline
he's like
growths.
everybody in like his office building has disappeared,
He no longer heard
and he has
birds
like
except for the
and like you
feverish
leave and like the
calls
voice
Did
is
we play
talking.
that?
to you.
attack.
Sounds amazing.
He couldn't smell the
Did
storm.
we
No,
play-
it got. I don't think so.
Might.
Oh.
It got like
Okay.
it got like
talked
really
like as
big
though we
like
were
a few
talking-
years
oh.
ago.
Oh, okay.
He was getting hungry
But
too.
sorry, yeah, like
This was an
that has like a
unhealthy place
voice
to
that like
be.
talks to you and like what you do like changes.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it sounds like something I'd be into. So,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, yeah, actually, that artifact is actually really cool. I noticed it actually zaps the heck out of me.
Yeah.
Did it just stop time?
No, my time ability stopped time, but it is zapping the bad guys and doing a ton of damage. I'm noticing.
That's nice.
So apparently,
Bonus.
Skyripper is
Get your
super
buddy.
handy. Yeah, get your buddy.
Come on.
And here's the core of the Skyripper. So now I've got both parts of the Skyripper.
Made him feel physically sick.
And see, you're right. Great
Once you
graphics,
sneak
neat
into
art
a
style.
temple of dark arts,
Really fun
you
story
can't
if you're
rightly smell
if
what
you're
you saw there.
paying attention to the story. It's actually
This
really
tastes
charming, and overall the theming, the whole storybook thing, really works out well. They also integrate the whole Groundhog's Day thing nicely too. Like he knows he's going through the book multiple times, so when he discovers something through one path,
He had lost
like
good
that
friends
affects the
to this
choices
war
through the next time
apparatus.
through. He's like, well, clearly I'm not going to do that because, you know, it's...
I don't have this to happen.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he can figure out, once he figures out the 4 truths, it gives you different options. And sometimes you can actually choose the right one, but it'll just give you alternate dialogue based on, you know, the fact that you know what's going to happen.
What is
Super
this?
weapon.
It's the next
You could
one.
use it to
I
wreak
think it's
havoc on the
important.
enemy.
Well, this is where we make our decisions. See,
Oh,
this is
okay.
one of the choices. Is the I think the
Maybe you should show
Imperial
it to some
Outpost,
scientists
or
first.
you could pop over to
There
the
was an
observatory
observatory in
and go see the
Mexico.
scientists and get some
Maybe
ideas
he should
about
go
the.
there before he fired it.
Yes.
So then, what's the exclamation point then?
This one, I think the exclamation points are maybe stories that you haven't done before, so we're gonna do that.
Huh.
Reynardo had never been much of a student.
But
That sword through
yeah, it would be
stone
nice
never
because they
read the
build
book.
up how, you know, Zenobia's an excellent sword fighter, and you know,
And
they
Zenobia.
talk about other
But
people who
weapons
you
he
fight,
understood.
and if you end up
His
fighting
death
them,
told
it's
him
just a
that the
cutscene
Skyripper would work
where they
great.
die or possibly
He
you
would
die.
use it to take
So
out the Imperial
it's
outpost.
kind of a letdown in that regard. It would be nice if they had some boss
That could
fights.
The thing wouldn't work, and
Possible
then he'd
DLC.
take it to the scientists.
Possible DLC.
I don't know. I
Reynardo
like that
actually
it's
could
just like
think of a few
quick,
things that were
zip,
worse.
zip, zip, zip through.
But he would
okay,
make sure they
that one
didn't
didn't work.
happen this
Okay,
time.
zip, 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 zip. Nope,
Right?
that one didn't work.
Yeah.
Okay, zip,
Exactly.
zip. It's a kind of a neat idea.
I agree. It really is. It works out well. You can like, and you know, for a given evening, I can play through the game twice. You know, like,
Right,
what else can
right.
you say that for?
Yeah. That way, even and you said there's only
As
basically
he set
like
out
7
down the
boards.
path.
5.
But, oh, 5
Reynardo
boards.
wondered
And you're only seeing oh, I'm sorry, 5 levels, 7
Years after the transcendent
boards.
Emperor had discarded
out of a choice of out of 7 possible kind of areas.
Right.
You only get 5 levels per playthrough.
Right.
So yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, so you get relatively familiar. Once you've explored it, you've essentially covered. You're not going to be surprised. You know, it's not like that roguelike. I'm not a big fan of the roguelike type.
Roguelikes? Yeah, yeah, I agree. Or
Where it's like
roguelites.
constant lights. Yeah,
Yeah.
The way they are like constantly like
randomly generated levels and
Yeah.
yeah, I gotta say, I'm not a big fan either. And I know that that's actually one of the
And
paths
that's
they could have
fine.
done with this.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking this could very
Indie developers on a
easily
budget
work into
love that format.
Right, right. But I'm glad they did not go that route. And you know, it's got its place, but I
Yeah.
think that it's fine. So you don't, if you want to adventure it, you can still go through, find everything, and still not have to feel like you're missing anything unless you thoroughly examine every level every time.
Yes.
Which I think was a good choice on the developer's part to not make it roguelike.
I agree 100%.
Yay! Were you looking something up?
Well, yeah, the game that I was trying to remember the name of, it's the Stanley Parable.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, everybody loves Stanley Parable. We would love that if we did.
Yeah, that game is... It's pretty...
How has it has passed our radar?
Because there's no physical.
Okay. This one doesn't. We're getting a lot more loose about the physicals than we used to.
And you know why? PSN sales. There have been some really great sales lately. It's hard to turn down a game for $3.
Well, you can try it out. Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of times, even if they've done a physical after the fact, if I like the game enough, I'll pick it up physical. I mean, I don't care if I've got it both ways. So.
Well, and that was sort of the issue before, was that you'd end up with a physical. Like a physical would come out after you'd already bought the digital, so we wouldn't buy it, but then it never did finally come out, so whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of limited run, and I like the just anytime they do like indie
Well, I was gonna
games.
say like, well, Life is Strange, right?
Life is Strange is a good
That
one.
is
Yeah,
a-
that's a good example.
Yeah, I mean,
A game
we
that
didn't-
normally wouldn't have actually had a physical.
I'm
Yeah.
so thrilled that
Life
was
is Strange didn't have a physical?
No, it did.
It
Normally
started
it wouldn't
out.
have.
It
Yeah,
started out as a PSN,
Oh,
like they
yeah,
released
because it had-
chapters.
yeah.
Remember?
Mhm.
And we didn't get in on that, but thankfully, they released the physical, and we're like, yay! So yeah, it's super helpful for people like us
Yeah.
to get to actually play it.
Yeah, that way you can have your concept of episodic games, which is great. I like that we're seeing more of those. I think it's a really fun, original... and a lot of times it's just a better format for games than a traditional AAA title.
Right.
But, well, oftentimes...
Because I remember when the Back to the Future one came out,
Mhm.
and I had to wait like a month between like stories.
Chapters, right?
Yeah, and it was like
Now, I can appreciate this, but this is the same thing I do with Hulu, where you just, like, wait and buffer it all up till it's
Storm
done,
all-
and then do it all
storm
at
all out.
once. Yeah.
Or well, like the
Yeah.
Netflix binge, you know, that type of thing.
Yeah, I don't think I'd do an episodic on like launch day, but I've got a big shelf full of ones that I'd like to play more of.
But that's like how we did with like Life is Strange. We didn't do the chapters as they released digitally because A, it was digital.
Yeah.
And then once they released the disc, we were able to play through the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
And I could, but for those who don't like, we have plenty of friends who don't like don't do the physicals, so they could, do the little chapters and have fun with it. So
It's true. And I guess it's probably less of an issue now because, let's face it, episodic was mostly Telltale, and Telltale is now history, so... Sorry, but...
here's our.
well, didn't they say that the Final Fantasy VII remake is supposed to be episodic too?
I had heard that, yeah, which is...
Oh, so here's where you make
Interesting.
another decision.
Here's
right?
another decision. We can either go check out the, let's see, the sages, the scientists, or we can go wreck the rebel base.
Ooh, which?
Take out the Rebel base. Go Star Wars with it.
Okay, you got it. Well, not actually, yeah, okay, pretty much.
See, I'm here going science. I see how it is. I always go science.
This is going to be a bad ending, so it's fine.
Regardless.
The dark side.
Yeah, it's amazing how many of the endings actually end you up in the dark side. So, yeah.
He was sounding like a reckless idiot, even to himself.
It really is clever dialogue. Even the stuff they say when you die is hilarious.
Good job.
Well, yeah, it's like, well, I never thought I'd go that way. Who knew? Or just, I don't know. It's the narrator. They just have fun with it.
Imperials were flapping and
Again,
cawing all around
makes a
the
big
ruins.
difference, you know,
They must
your
be
voice.
panicking with rumors flying off the
Yeah.
Who you get
Don't
for,
panic.
Who you get
Maybe
for
they
the...
hoped to find and
Nice.
destroy the base before he could
I'm
put
gonna
the sky
skip some of the
into
side
action.
doors if that's okay,
Sky
because
was
generally
whining
it's
and heating up.
You don't need any
It
of
will be
it.
time to
Yeah,
use that
exactly.
energy
That
soon.
like flag ruffling in the wind was kind of cool.
Oh yeah, they have some amazing effects. What levels they have are really well realized. I mean, they did a great job. And even if it does do, and this is kind of a bit of a trope, I guess, the whole floating island thing, like where the levels are just sort of like,
Right.
yeah. I mean, you know, it's Skylanders and every other game I can think of does this. Bastion, I guess, does it too. And normally it kind of rankles me, but they did such a cool job with the environments, I can't be mad at that. Like,
We did that in Victor Brand. There was that level with the floaty stuff too, remember?
yep,
There
yep.
was a whole section. It wasn't the whole area, but there was that one.
I wonder if this game actually does a lot to Victor Brand, because that's another one that has the cool narrator.
Oh, see?
Is it the same company?
He wondered
No.
if the council knew he
I don't
destroyed
think
the
so.
island.
See, you say that, but
I
wouldn't
can't
you
remember the company.
laugh if... I thought that's what you were looking
I
at.
promise I will look up the company, and I'll put it on the description page.
I'll check that.
It's because I don't have a box to look at.
See, that's the thing. Physical people. We need
Otherwise, I don't know
physicals.
who made your game.
Plus, you know,
Or we should have done our homework before
Fucking, like,
starting
dude.
to record.
The Skyripper murdered everyone for me. This thing is going aggro. My gosh. I guess on the upside, if you do the Skyripper story, you can just hang out and let it murder everything. One big circle.
What's the subtitle on this again?
The Path of Destinies. Gamma, sword in the door.
no, that is kind of a super generic title.
It is. They couldn't have made a
But
worse
maybe
title,
they
I gotta
did-
say.
Well, or they were just being very, like...
Accurate. It is, because, yeah, it does feel like stories, so, I mean, yeah,
It's
I can't...
stories.
It's not a bad name. It's just really.
It's impossible to remember, I'll tell you. Like, a lot of
There
times
you
I've been,
go.
like, meaning to say something, like, talk about the game to somebody, and I'm like, yeah, that one game with Fox and the timing.
You should take one home, he thought.
Spearhead
Fox.
Games.
Don't
Spearhead
you mean,
games.
Don't you mean Bat? Because isn't it?
Pat.
He is an anthropomorphic fox. Anthropomorphic.
He is a fox. See?
Named Reynardo.
Reynardo, yes.
Reynardo.
He's a really cool one. I just went and did the exact same thing again.
Is this Fox McCloud's older brother?
I think so.
Didn't get.
Reynardo McLeod.
Hey.
He actually looks like a combination of Fox and Wolf. If you, like, combine those two characters, and you gave him a sword.
That's the anthropomorphic.
That's pretty much it.
Sorry, I wikied it real quick.
I appreciate it, actually.
Okay.
Did I miss that? Yes. No? Yes. I hope this is the way to go.
Released for Windows and PS4 in 2006.
Sorry, Xbox peeps.
Wow.
Not Xbox though, it just says Microsoft Windows.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, oh sorry, Xbox. I
Was
see.
Zenobia talking about this?
Is
Was a
this thing here?
fantastic weapon.
I don't think
Ravens
so.
burst into
I'm taking the path. Normally, these little eyeball things are not that common, but, like, I guess I'm just taking, like, the exact story paths that, like, make you have to deal with a lot of eyeballs.
Or tongue. Yeah, she'd been trying to distract him. Well, this time, no one was going to distract him.
Oh. Okay. Do you have to
Anyone
There's a
put
switch
that
back
switch?
there.
Oh, yeah, there's a switch. Thank you.
No.
I didn't even see the switch. I'm going after that other eyeball for no reason.
There we go.
Death to the eyeballs. There we go.
Oh, that looks like a long staircase.
Looks like a boss fight, but it isn't.
So he was close to the rebel base. Nothing was on fire. So far, so good.
You get big bonuses, by the way, if you can finish each the combats without getting hit. So it's definitely worth doing, is to try to, like, not take damage. You can see once I get a certain combo, then I just start dashing around and one-shotting people. And that's just the way this game works.
Style. Acceptable.
Yeah, right? No, and the reason I'm getting that, by the way, turns out, and this took me forever to figure out, if you want to get that style ranking to be a little less condescending, you have to try a bunch of different types of moves in a given fight. So, use your grapple, grab people, throw them into each other, throw them off cliffs. Then you can get it up to, like, amazing, awesome. It actually has nothing to do with how much damage you take or how long it takes you to fight. It's just simply the variety of different moves you use.
We were afraid you'd turn aside to
He also kind of looks like.
Not bloody likely.
You ever see the Sonic cartoon?
Feeling he was
The
poor mad rabbit.
the one with Sally.
Never make sacrifices.
Sally? He looks like Sally?
No, he looks like Antoine, the fox.
Okay, I have not seen the Sonic cartoon with Antoine the Fox, although I'm pretty sure he's going to be in the next Sonic racing game.
He said.
Along with all the other scribbled cocktail napkin Sonic characters I could possibly think of.
It was humming now, as if it had
This harkens back to a discussion that was held earlier this evening on Sonic.
Yeah. Normally, we're a big fan of the Sonic racing games, and the next one looks like a little bit undercooked, but apparently it's been delayed by 6 months, so...
He hadn't let himself be
We
distracted
shall
by old
see.
friends or
I think we have just one level to go and then we're done.
enemies. Finally, he could be proud of himself.
And yet, extensive. You know, if you're gonna get a
Yeah.
good ending.
If you're gonna get all the endings, then yeah, you're gonna have to work. And yeah, this is the last level, I guess. For this one,
was ready.
they didn't give me a choice.
So was Sky.
Oh,
See,
okay.
yes, we can.
Sky Ripper had a will of its own. It picked out its own targets and set them on fire. Now, this was going to be a short battle. He would set the ships on fire if he didn't need them to get to the Emperor. And he wondered
Yeah,
if
this
he'd see
leveled up
Zenobia,
Skyripper is actually not
or
bad.
if she'd flee.
And you got that for getting the good ending? Is that what you
No,
said?
no, that was just part of the path of the story I picked through. I picked the Skyripper path. So you get the one piece of Skyripper, you get the other piece of Skyripper, and then you're going to use it to kill the Emperor. And what could possibly go wrong?
Didn't want him to go.
I have a pretty good idea what could go wrong.
Because you played it before?
Not this exact path, but
Yeah.
one of the Skyripper paths, yeah. Man, that thing murders people. Look at that.
You keep saying. So, if you walk away from this with anything, get the Skyripper, apparently. That is the thing you should do.
If you decide to get the Iblis Stone instead, well, that kills people too.
Do you have that one too?
Not in this playthrough. The Iblis Stone actually
I mean,
doesn't
have
like
you
the
gotten
Skyripper.
it?
Yes, I have. That was one of the
That's
four
what I'm
truths.
Oh, I see. Ew.
Give me this. There we go.
Ew.
Still acceptable, you know? I have to mix it up a little bit. Whenever I try to mix it up and get creative just to
Get a better.
make my score look
happiness.
better,
Yeah.
I always, like, get murdered. I break my combo, I get no points. You know, it's depressing.
Come over
There
here.
we go. It's also hard to get my combo up if my Skyripper keeps murdering stuff before I can get to it.
So somehow this reminds me of Monster Hunter.
It was
Really?
for her.
Well, I guess
Yeah.
there's ships.
Yeah.
Monster
I think
Hunter
that
has ships.
Was,
Is
yeah,
that-
I think,
is that it?
Seriously, I think that's what it was.
Insane.
Okay.
That level where we had to go
Surrender.
fight, was it Bahamut?
He'd
With the
done it.
ships?
Yeah?
He played chicken with Zenobia.
No, yeah, no,
What
no.
was it?
One of
What
the
was it?
others.
The big,
He
big,
could hear the
big
horns
dragon
blaring the
guy.
retreat.
Any rate,
That
yes.
doesn't narrow down at all in
Oh.
Monster
That's
Hunter.
for sure.
It's the first big one that you have to,
Wisdom
and
didn't
we
win
start up top and then drop down below and shoot all the keep shooting cannons.
I forget. They always have names I can't remember.
Oh, the dragon. Yeah. What can I think? Shadow dragon? Oh yeah, it's a problem. Any rate,
Now I want to play Monster Hunter. Great.
I gotta pony up for another
Subscription to MSN
Yeah, not MSN.
or
PSN.
PSN.
I got some
I don't think
news.
anybody subscribed,
MSNBC.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I need to renew my PSN account to play again.
Oh boy.
Oh,
That and we can do some.
Diablo, Borderlands.
I did. I flew right into it too. I was just
Jumped
like,
straight into it.
do not even care.
Because while you're in your brain, you're like, oh, we can play Diablo.
Yeah, yeah.
Borderlands,
Right now I'm busy,
Monster
like, I'm
Hunter.
murdering a Rathlos in my head.
Uh,
Oh, I guess we're going this way this time. Sometimes if you go to see the Emperor, you go through that path, and the Emperor is off camera. That little head
over
thing
there.
Yeah. I think this is where you go for, like, bigger fight
Interesting.
action.
It's a fun game.
It is. It's actually really cute, and I think this is probably going to be the last fight.
Since you didn't get your Emperor fight.
Correct. Yeah. And there's nowhere to go from here. Let's see. Oh.
Oh, there it is over there.
And see, that's the Emperor ship, and then we're going to see what happens.
Zenobia.
The
Wearing
White Robes of Surrender. Hey, Zenobia surrendered. That's new.
Why
Huh.
don't you listen to me? I was trying to save you
Huh.
too. You're the enemy. You said,
Mm.
I was never your enemy, Reynardo.
Hmm.
And you realized. Not for the first.
Wow, I was trying to get a Skyripper ending, and it turns out I got a Zenobia
Then she
ending.
spoke
Interesting.
a terrible word.
Then
Aw.
she spoke a
Made gesture
terrible
with her
word.
hand,
And
Stop
gesture with
moving.
her hand.
covered in frost.
That's
He wondered why she'd frozen herself. Then the sky
That gesture's an interesting.
And
Oh,
then-
there's
It does look like she flipped him off.
Yeah, right?
I discovered that he couldn't move.
What?
The next
She
thing he
froze
knew,
him.
The sun was a giant, monstrously red. It took up half the sky.
This is
And he was in a
craziness.
parched red desert. And then
and then he was on fire.
Yep.
Ta-da!
Let's see what
Ta-da!
ending you got.
Let's see which ending I got. Boom! I got one of the Zenobia endings.
Yay!
Fire
New
essence.
Story.
Reynardo Nukem.
That's awesome.
So it gave me 5 fire essences, which I can't use because I've already got my fire sword maxed out. And yeah, and then if I hadn't have unlocked the...
Look at the other ones. I want to see that one was. Look at.
Well,
Can you
in
actually
this
hit X
moment.
to view the story? Does it just show you the ending again?
Think
no,
twice.
it tells you the basically the whole text of the story, or a synopsis of that path,
Boxy
Oh,
got
which was kind of
mugged.
nice, yeah.
I was
It
just
really
looking
is.
at the title. I thought they were cute.
I don't want to go
Fine.
over and do the 4 truths because they're kind of spoilerific.
Yeah, no.
But you see how, like, once you've got those 4, then it all joins together in the middle, and then you do the true ending at there. And if you beat the true ending, you get the cool little Reynardo statue. So,
Oh, how fun!
and the Skyripper follows you around no matter where you go and burns stuff.
Always, you get that after you get your true ending.
I believe
mean,
so.
You have him follow
Apparently.
you?
This is actually the first ending I've done since I've gotten the true ending, so yeah, it looks that way.
Well, this looks really fun.
It is an excellent game, and I'm glad you had a chance to check it out.
Yeah. And I think other people should check it out too.
I do as well. In fact, wouldn't mind seeing a sequel to this one either. Although, I don't know if you could maybe
Or
find a
even
better
bonus-
name than
bonus
Stories.
stuff. Well, check the epilogue, prologue.
More stories.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
gonna say, like, Stories 2. Now we've got a second floor.
Stories are... That's horrible. Yeah, that would work.
Ah,
You go with that.
oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, there you have it. So what do you think? You like it?
Yeah, it looks cool. Like,
It's on PSN. You could grab it anytime you want.
And probably pretty cheap. If I've got it, it had to have been cheap at some point. So,
yeah.
yeah, it's a fun little action RPG. It's really great, and it's bite-sized. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can play as much or little. Like, you've got 5 minutes before class. Quick, zoom, zoom, zoom. Okay.
yeah.
Ready to go. And
Now, you have to get through an entire chapter to
obviously
save the
not
game,
5 minutes.
but you saw how
know,
long the chapters
yeah,
last.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Maybe not 5 minutes. I may have synopsed it too a little too bite-sized, but you know what I mean.
Too bite-sized. Well, there you go.
Thanks for joining us.
See you next time.
Bye.